Hello and welcome back to this very last session and panel session of the MEF Connect Wholesale 2023 edition. So before I close the event together with my colleague James, we couldn't finish without talking obviously about what takes us, all of us talking, what has taken us all talking over the last 2 days, and that's the customer experience. So we started the event yesterday with a presentation from Julian Watson at Omdia. And if you remember well, and I hope you were there, in the outlook was mentioned as point number 5 as a need for criteria to select a wholesale customer, or provider, the ease of doing business and the ability to provide tools to allow better customer experience. Also was mentioned in the innovation space on the wholesale side, the tools that allow that customer experience to be improved, portals and the likes. So we are expected to see quite a few changes in the industry moving forward in that space. So with that in mind, I thought it would be a fantastic idea to actually take the pulse of where we are in the industry today. And to do this, I am very pleased to welcome Debdatta Mallick, Debs from PCCWG Global. Hi, Debs, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. It's really lovely to talk, Suzy. It's always great to talk to you. So let's talk about customer experience today.
So, Debs, very quickly, can you tell us what you do at PCCWG Global?
Okay, so I am a back office person. I look after revenue assurance, which includes all of settlement, all of billing, all of dispute management, reporting. So all the back office stuff I am very keen about, and that's what I do today.
So people we don't see very often, but people from whom we rely extremely to make sure that our customer experience is optimum.
Very good.
I'm also very happy to welcome 2 colleagues from Orange, Michel Levisse. Michel, hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon to everybody. I'm very glad Michel to be with you.
Glad to have you with us. So Michel is the SVP Customer Services and Sales Operations in the Carrriers division of Orange, if I'm correct.
Yes, you are. And I'm responsible as Debs, where I'm responsible, my teams are responsible for all the billing and back office activities, billing disputes and collection, but we merge also all the other aspects of operations, customer operations with customer care, service delivery and service management activities. So this is the whole scope of post-sale.
Pretty much end-to-end, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And then last but not least, Tristan Rayroles, who's the Customer Experience Director, again at Orange International Carrier Services. Tristan, welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so maybe you can give us a bit of an introduction as to what you do at Orange.
Yes, so something working closely with Michel at International Carriers. My role is basically to impulse customer centricity throughout the organization, making sure that we think customer first in every aspect. And also, in addition, I'm conducting all customer surveys and crunching the data to make sure that everything we do also reflects what they are saying when we hand them the mic.
So a lot of responsibilities as well, I guess. So as I was saying, as in the introduction, we heard that, and I was glad to hear this, that customer experience and ease of doing business is becoming one of the top criteria to select a wholesale provider. Mm-hmm. And it's also one of those areas of focus when it comes to innovation. Before I move into what we are doing in the industry to move forward, I'd just like to pause for a minute and get your views as to where you think we are today in terms of customer experience in wholesale. How would you describe this? If I can start with the lady.
Thank you, Suzy. I think the wholesale world has always been not very unified. So some carriers have been really very, very advanced and some of them have not been. I think in the last few years, we have all actually invested heavily in digitalization. We have all had new systems. We have all been through automation. And again, in the wholesale world, we are the customer, we are the vendors, we are the partners, you can say. So while going through our own digitalization, we have seen that our own requirements have changed. With automation, our own requirement has changed. So yes, it is not the same as it used to be 5 years back, where you are told how you would be how you would be served. It is more the customers here are taking the backseat and saying, this is how we want to be served. And that's the difference I see today.
You see also in Orange, if I go to Michel, do you see this as being also the difference as to the customer really having a strong impact on how they would like to be served before anything else, before you, when wholesalers really, dictating how this should be done?
That's for sure, and there is probably also, in addition to what Debs just shared, is that it also depends. The expectations are depending on the type of operator and customer you are dealing with. Clearly, we are coming from a world of transit actors, carriers, just managing interconnection between themselves and delivering the service end to end. However, I think that today we have more and more MNOs, ISPs as clearly leading the top of the expectations on customer side. And clearly we have to move forward with them to better answer their request. And I think that we will talk further about that, but clearly we are in the wholesale market getting more and more retail expectation to be taken into account within our organization.
So Tristan, is that, I guess, probably you can piggyback on what Michel has just said. Is this what you see more and more? So a customer experience and probably the expectations changing quite a bit if we are moving from a more type of retail type of demand in terms of customer care.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously, I agree with what Michel said. Having said that, the customer experience in our market is still very focused on, I would say, the basics. The basics being they accept prompt answers, they expect swift resolution in case of incident, and they hate being kept in the dark for any kind of project that takes a long time. So proactivity is key, and these elements are really fundamentals, and they show in our surveys that they could be for those key moments in the relation a huge impact on NPS, on recommendation. It could be as much as 100 points of NPS between a happy or unhappy customers during these moments where we can prove that we are good on the basics. So I've seen that in the past 4 years. This hasn't changed. One thing that has changed a bit is true that we are moving towards some mass market expectations, only maybe by the fact that people are the same. People in charge, people working in the wholesale industry are also mass market consumers in their life. And that transpires also, and we can see with, as Deb said, a lot of automation, more digital customer space popping up everywhere. But we haven't seen yet the real, in terms of expectation and change, we haven't seen yet the complete integration that shows that we move from a world, as Michel described, that maybe ancient world, incumbent world, where we expose our organizations to our customers, to something that is more seamless and more centralized, integrated.
Okay. So, well, that's very interesting, because basically we're saying, obviously the basics come first, and I guess in any kind of business, basics is what you need to be able to provide in terms of customer care and customer service. Moving forward and bearing in mind the portal, the visibility over performance, etc., is technology an answer? Debs, do you think, how can we? You were talking earlier about the investment in digitalization. Are we far away from a wholesale omni-channel type of approach, or how how would you describe the pace and our ability to incorporate those technologies to better serve our customers?
I think technology is definitely one of the key element here, and with the use of AI, things will definitely change. However, I will just give you an example. We have moved to a new system. Our price lists are all automated. In order for us to actually get the price list updated in our system, we are asking our vendors to send the price list in a very specific format. What the email would be, we are actually telling them this is how we want the email, this is how we want your subject line to be. We want all this information in the email itself, so that the price list gets into our system, updated automatically, so that when we actually reconcile your invoice, it actually reconciles correctly. Now, this is an automation which we have actually added in our system, but we are asking our vendors to actually comply with all the necessary elements in order for us to actually comply with that. You know what I mean? So it is, and this is not only us as a customer, this is exactly us as a vendor, because the wholesale market is again going back to the same thing. We are the customer, we are the vendor. So I would say technology is definitely one of the answer. At the end of the day, I do not think it will take away the human interaction. That will still be there, necessary at any point in time, whenever things go wrong, or even in daily life, I would say.
That's good news. Keeping people, interactions is always very good. If I turn to let's go back to Tristan. So we were talking about the technology, and the example that Debs gave us is a really, really good one. I mean, you upgrade your systems so that you automate part of the functionalities that you have within your organization. But at the end of the day, that's as useful as it can be if your ecosystems around you are also gearing up to what you're doing. And I'm actually addressing this question to both of you, Michel and Tristan. Do you see this, well, first of all, at Orange, do you see that upgrade? I mean, are you upgrading also? Do you see that trend, strong shift towards improving technology internally within your carrier organization? Where does that sit with your ecosystem? Are you able to see where your different players around your activities are they also gearing up to what you do, or how is that developing?
I think that what Debs said illustrate something that is related to the ease of doing business that we find in the Omdia study. It's about, don't ask me to adjust to the way you work as a customer. Ask me how I work, and I will. And they accept us wholesalers to adapt to the way they do business. And for that, for instance, we do as everybody, I guess. We tend to create ways for our customers to do things on their own. So to make them more autonomous for some of the requests. And instead of just getting the answer as a plain PDF, for instance, the bill in a plain PDF, it's provide them with the details of every element of the invoice, so they can put that in their own system without asking us to provide them with the details. So it's things like this. It could be small steps, but that is moving towards something that is okay. That will illustrate how it's easy, because it's more effortless. I don't have to request for something. I get it. So we go there step by step towards trying to anticipate their needs through that. So technology is there. It could helps. The ultimate part of that, beyond just exposing some features on the website, is to interconnect their system, the systems of our customers, directly with ours through the means of APIs, for instance. And that's a totally different way of thinking things. Rather than build a website that will require a login, password, and to learn how to navigate through the features, they can do that from their own system, which they're familiar with. So, and also that's technology helps, standardization helps as well. So it's something we cannot do alone, and we do that thanks to MEF, for instance. But we try to comply, or well, we comply with MEF standards, but that's another way.
Michel, any comments from your side?
Maybe an example on based on experience on customer care. Of course, as most of our competitors on the market, we are providing with a portal allowing our customer to open not a dispute but an incident on the product we are delivering them. Very simple. Everybody is providing that to their customer, but each time is one provider, one portal. I think that's where we are joining what Debs just shared. Is the difficulty is to be more standard in the way we are interacting. We've been opening this portal for a few years now, and we developed, we pushed our customers, we explained, we educated them to use it. Because of course there is more than a promise and a pledge. We are more efficient when all the the start of the process is fully automatized through these portals. Today we are at 80% of incident open through the portal, which is not too bad. We were quite happy to reach this number, but we are now stable. It won't. To my mind, it won't go further because we are at the limits of what our customers are ready to do to adapt themselves to our processes and to reach a full integration and a fully digitized customer care. Clearly, we have to think differently the way we will reach the 20% less. We are talking about APIs. If we can interact directly in bilateral with the system, both systems, but there is some some investment to be done on both sides, so it's not always easy to join the system. And last, and I will just come to the same conclusion. I think that the market, the industry has to get organized to say if we want to get a really differentiated customer experience. At least on the basics, we have to work the same way to ease all the flows and all processes to work the same way so we can interconnect as we are doing with our products to do with our processes.
So piggybacking on what you just said, Michel, are those basics, when we talk about those basics, is that one of the challenges that the industry has today, or of at least securing that on the basics side across the industry, we are able to apply the same kind of customer care and customer service? What do you think, Debs?
Look, I think in the wholesale industry, like anywhere else, I think the requirements from customers ever changing, and it is coming to a point when customers are asking for something really specific, which is very individualized for each customers. As actually Tristan was saying, that it is very much that we will have to get into a state where we join both the systems together for ease of business, for ease of operations. But I absolutely agree with what Michel said. At the end of the day, unless we have our basics right, we cannot move forward. All the new system, new technology, AI, everything can come. But at the end of the day, the basic principles of customer services that treat the customer as you want to be treated remains the same for me.
So I hear the technology, I hear the basics need to be right, but I heard you say, Debs, earlier, the human side of things, because for me, it's, yes, we have technology, and we experience it as consumers. It's so frustrating sometimes not to be able to talk to someone when you actually need something. So how do you embed that human part of the customer service into all those, technology developments, those, with portals, etc. Where does the human sit in all this? Tristan. I see you smile.
I like the human part because, first of all, I'm a human being. But also, our studies show that the main assets we have and the main assets beyond the network itself and the quality of the network, I'd say, is our people, our staff. These are the qualities our customers value every year in our survey, and they say that they for them, it's really important to keep that part. So automation is perfect. It helps a lot. But for the contacts that matter, they would require, and especially in that business where we don't have so many customers. We have, I don't know if I can say how many customers we have, but we have less than 1,000 customers. It means that do we need to put all our efforts into some humanness relationship, or do we want to capitalize on the assets of the human and the staff that we have that are serving, that are bending over backwards to serve our customers right? And so it's a balance. On the one way, we need to make sure that every low value task can be automated, but keep where our strong points, which are our staff and the relationship they can create with our customers, keep that where it matters.
Michel, the high value, where would you put your people to make sure that they bring in the highest value in terms of customer service? It's not a very easy question, I realize, but
No, because it's I think on the principle it's not that difficult to answer on the principle, but the way we are operating it, the way we are transforming from the point today where we have people doing a lot of actions that in the best world should be automatized, is how we are shifting our skills, the people, from the basics that we were talking about, saying what can be done by technology and easy answered questions, basics as Debs talked about the billing, what we can give as information as basic to the customer, self-service, and then you can shift your the skills and especially the teams towards a more complex, more bespoke aspect of the customer relation. And that's something that we have clearly to think about, and especially the journey to go through that, because I think that, as we just said and we shared, I think I'm fully aligned there, human being and human relation is key. And still our market is really based on relationship between long-term relationship between the customers, their providers, and as you said, that's also the providers and their own providers. It's based on a long-term relationship. We know each other by doing business together for sometimes a long time, and I think it has to be also expressed in all the operations or the back office relation we have between ourselves. So to me, clearly simplify at most all the basics we have to provide, and get focused on how we get the skills upscaled to clearly accompany at best on the different processes, billing, customer care, service management, to clearly have this relation on the complexity of our business and what we are doing.
No, that's very good insight. So, Debs, would you? I mean, I know we're getting closer to the end of our panel. It's a short. It's a very 30 minutes is not enough to talk about these things. But really, from your perspective, I'd like to leave the floor to you as the lady to close our panel. Does upskilling, do you agree with what you've heard, i.e. obviously we have to get the basics right, technology is an answer as well, but it's not an answer for everything, get the human side of things really where it should be? Upskilling, is it something that you're looking at also at PCCW to make sure that that human interaction remains?
Agreed. Yes, we are. And to be very honest, wholesale market, as actually Michel just mentioned, it is very much based on relationship. So we still see today our sales guys actually go meet people. We always have that face-to-face interaction. And although we have been hearing voice world is dying for the last 20 years, it has been dying, but I wouldn't say that has gone away. That face-to-face meeting, that human interaction, I don't think has gone away, and I do not think that will go away in very near future. For other markets, if you talk about IoT, if you talk about data, those newer markets, I think a omni-channel sales is much more relevant than wholesale. That's just my view.
You agree, Tristan and Michel? Last word.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay. So,
No,
anything
to-
else? Any
Yes,
last word, maybe?
just the last word. Also, of course, I I cannot agree more with Debs also. And clearly, the challenges will be to find the right balance between what the tools and digitization will bring to our business. I heard the previous panel on CPaaS, etc. Of course, we will have some kind of automation on demand services that will be deployed in our portfolio. But at some point, if it's not just the usual processes won't be done by human beings anymore, we will have to accompany our customer to go through all this journey and develop all the possibility that the new technologies and new products will offer us. So it will be important, and this upskilling will be key to bring to really customer support in all the processes and journeys.
What a really great
Absolutely.
last word. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you, Tristan, Michel, Debs. Again, thank you very much for joining us on that occasion. It's been a great interaction on customer experience. Surely we'll be tracking what analysts say and how things are developing, because I'm sure that this topic will come back on the agenda of MEF again. So a warm thank you from my side. Thank you for being with us, and I'm sure we'll be talking about this again very soon. Thank you to all of you.
Suzy, for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.